So last about 30 to 32, 33 lectures, we are discussing one of the very much studied part of Bhagavad Gita, which comes in the second chapter and at the end of the second chapter. Second chapter, there are 72 shlokas. This discussion starts from 54. So when Krishna says to Arjuna that to be a yogi, to be a person with a goal, the path to reach that goal is called yoga. Yoga is something which joins between you and the goal where you want to reach. For example, people practice hatha yoga, physical exercise, pranayama, etc. So you have one level of your physical health or agility, you reach to another level of health or agility of the body. From this level to that level, what helps you to reach is called yoga. Bhakti yoga. You are a devotee of God, but there is a science of devotion. There are ways and means of devotion. To reach that goal, to become a devotee of God, what helps you to do that is called yoga. That's why it is called Bhakti yoga. You want to purify your mind, and one of the ways to purify the mind is to do certain activity, if not all activities of the day, without any motive. Nobody does anything nowadays in the modern age, they say. They don't do anything if there is no profit in it. Because goal is always money, money, money. That's why it is goal. What I do it for money. But when you do something, when you serve someone, and then you keep a list of desires behind. I want appreciation, I want name and fame, I want this, that, that. So the act which you do is meant for that purpose. But if you say, no, I'm not interested in anything, I just want to serve. Because the philosophy says, you serve out of what? You serve out of compassion. Don't serve out of pity. Serve out of compassion. Serve out of love. But serving someone to gain the name and fame, that becomes more important than the people being served. So that action is called sakama karma. Karma with desire. Karma with desire doesn't fulfill that goal of purification of mind. That's why we have a concept of nishkama karma. If your karma is not absolutely nishkama, not absolutely free from desire, but at least you keep this concept in mind that karma can be free from desire. No one knows that you did this work. There is an incident. The famous devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, Girish Chandra Ghosh, people knew him for his bad habits and bad behavior, but people also know about his greatness. You see, he is called Shakespeare of Bengal or Shakespeare of Bengal theatre. Absolutely genius personality, not intelligent, genius. After passing away of Sri Ramakrishna, Girish Chandra Ghosh went to Jairam Bati, the place where Holy Mother used to stay for a while. So it's a small village, and we are talking about 100 years before. So Girish Chandra Ghosh says, the morning goes to some pond to take bath, etc. It's a simple life. But he found that his bed is always very neat, very much washed, bed sheets and all that. The room is very clean. Up to the end, he doesn't know who did it, because in his presence it is not done. At the end, he came to know that when he goes for half an hour walk somewhere for ablution and bath and all that, Holy Mother wakes up in the morning and cleans the room and makes everything and goes away. So idea is, we all help each other, we all help in this world to people. But there are many facts in life we do not know who did it. Thousands and millions of flowers are bloom in the morning. No one has seen when those dewdrops fall on them and the flowers blossoms. So nature already is showing you certain examples how silently you can bring change in the life of people without being manifested, without being exposed, without being tagged or named. So the concept of Nishkama Karma comes, which is for spiritual life or which is for purification of the mind. In the path of Bhakti Yoga, they will tell, taking the name of God is one way to purify your mind. There is an intellectual way to do it. If I want to purify my mind, before that I should know what is the impurity of my mind. If I know impurity, then I can clean my impurity. Whatever is detrimental to my spiritual progress is all impurities of my mind. If you are leading a life where, of course, physically we don't go and harm anyone. What about verbally? Okay, we are all very good. That verbally also we don't harm anyone. What about mentally? By thought. If we are perfect in that we do not hurt or harm anyone with thought, words or action. So you are not a source of misery to anyone. Now you become source of happiness to someone, or some people, or the society, or the world at large. By your thought, by your words, by your deed, by your karma. So this 3 levels of communication, if in all the 3 communication you become blessings for the world, whatever you speak is good for them. whatever even you think is good for the world and whatever you do is good for the world, how blessed that human being will be. So to achieve this, Krishna was asked a question by Arjuna, that you are telling that this person called Sthita Prajna, intellect, mind, is Sthita, is established in these virtues what we talked about. To know the truth. Why we call scientists great? Because they find something, truth which we do not know. They either invent something new or discover something which we do not know. All those who pursued the invention or discovery of the truths, could be scientific truth, could be cosmic truth, could be truths of the things around us, they come to know about it. Other day I was hearing a lecture of one scientist, gentleman. Science is progressing, every day science is progressing, but too much attention is given to this new way of, new type of science in a way, or application of science. There was nothing called internet earlier, then slowly that came. We all have used small phones, tick, 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 messaging. Now we all are thinking, new generation, you tell them, these keys are there, A, B, C, D, E, F, and you have to tick, tick, tick means C. Here tick, tick means E, F. They will go mad. So that started. Then the smartphones came. Then the internet became something. Then now AI. A little old school if we are, completely puzzled. ChatGPT and this and that. It is going to revolutionize everything. That is one science, nothing wrong about it. But there is a small group of people who think, do you need this application of science so much in your life? It is ruining your life in a way. Earlier we used to know, oh, so-and-so met so-and-so and told a bad word to him and entered into a fight with him, and that was the news. Now both are sitting in their own room. He tweeted for him like that. And that is the only news going on. Two people don't meet and fight. They fight virtually somewhere. And it has become millions of times bigger possibility of fighting each other. You can fight with anybody in the world you like. Because when you are typing a comment, the person is not in front of you. So you ventilate all that is in your mind. And sometimes it is beyond the limit. So you are in news. Completely keeping the identity covered, I am telling. One of the big charitable organization, international, they hire hundreds and thousands of people. One lady from America was working in that charity in South African country. This is a true fact I am telling. And how you land into trouble? Just by typing few words. So after 2 or 3 years of work in South Africa, she was again transferred back to her country. So she just typed a message in Twitter or WhatsApp or somewhere. At last I am free from these black people or something, this kind of very simple but a cheap comment. And guess what? Before she lands in his own country, People are ready to arrest her, blaming the whole black community. That easy it has become. Typing few words is the simplest thing you do. But look its effect, it's far-reaching. So we have to, earlier when you speak, you be careful. Now, what you type, you be careful. So life changes. Science moves. But what we want eventually? Sometimes you will find when you are too much stressed, if people ask what you want in life, I want anything, just little peace of mind. I want just peace of mind, nothing else. And that's why you will find people may not have many things of the world to enjoy, but have peace of mind. And people have everything to enjoy this world except the peace of mind. So in happiness index, the poor person is much higher than the rich person, because the peace of mind is not there. That is external, of course. What about internal? Just now we were talking. You are what you are, but you pretend to be someone else than what you are. And what you are and what you pretend to be, two are so far away personalities. It is very difficult for you to be in peace. Everybody knows you to be someone which you are not. These are all simple things which affects our life. Ego. What you are, everybody knows. You don't need to assert every now and then. If I keep on telling to all the known people, you know who I am? I am this. So finally someone will say, we all know that you are. What's there to assert every now and then? So this pride, this is one of the subject of the last shloka which we are going to read. So getting the peace of mind, to be at peace. You know, if some guests come to your home, next day morning, which is the first question you ask them in a traditional way? Could you sleep well? Correct. Why that question? After coming to my home, are you at peace? If peace itself is not there, where happiness will come? Live one day when yesterday night you never had a good sleep. Your whole day goes in a... There is no peace and happiness. So to be at peace is very much important in our life. So while describing the qualities of this great person, Sthita Prajna, one who is established in God, one who is established in wisdom, many shlokas we discussed. In this shloka he says, Vihaya kaman yah sarvan. When the first shloka Sri Krishna told, 54th shloka was the question. So 55th shloka was answer of Sri Krishna. The first shloka which Krishna told as an answer to Arjuna's question was Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogata. The greatest or the most important factor in anybody's spiritual life, or rather anybody's life, is your desires. Sometimes we say, practically we say, seeing the person's age and stage of life. If a boy is ambitious, parents are happy. He wants to do something in his life. Nothing wrong. But what's the limit? So many desires. And you want to reach, you want to fulfill. And to fulfill the desire, you work hard and fulfill desire, no issue. You want to fulfill desire by harming others? That's not the way. So to be ambitious for certain thing is okay. Everything is good, seeing the state of your body and mind. If a 20 years old young man is ambitious to do something in life, we understand. What about a 75 years of man who is so much ambitious to do many things in life? Still we say, okay, it's good. What do you want to achieve in life? You have not decided it. There is a graph in our life. Up to certain time, you want to achieve. A time comes when you slowly, your wants are reduced. Even if you want, you cannot. I give this example. I knew a gentleman in a small town. Everyone knows his house because it was in a very, very prominent place and a very beautiful house. Having few hotels, few cars, this, that. So one day he told, Swamiji, will you come if I invite you for lunch to my house? Only I stay, nobody stays. My wife stays in Bombay, children are settled in somewhere in the world. I stay alone. I said, okay. Whatever you eat, I will eat. So there is a helper. In India we have boys also. So there was a Nepali boy who used to be doing cleaning and cooking and all that in his house. But that gentleman was in our contact as a devotee, so he understands the way we talk. So one day he was joking. He says, Swamiji, I do not know. I am working hard for what? I am earning money for what? I am buying best of the things from the market for whom? I have got so many issues in my body. I can't take sweet. I can't take fried things. So all the sweets and fried things and all that, who eats? My helper. I have a high diabetes with eyes problem. Doctor has told me not to watch TV for a long time. But a costliest huge screen TV, in his absence, who watches TV? The helper. I have a back pain. Doctor told me to sleep on a hard surface. I sleep on a plywood. Who sleeps on the cushion? The helper. So he says, sometimes I am thinking whether he is my servant or I am his servant. The Maya is this. Sometimes we think we are ruling, but we are servants. We are servants to our desires. Our desires makes us what we want. Our desires makes us run around. Till you come to know that I didn't want it. Because of my desires, I have to do this. Anyway, so vihaya kamani sarvan. What told in first sloka, probably Sri Krishna repeats in this last sloka. One who renounces his desires, vasana, kamana, trishna, thirst for things. Buddha uses the word trishna, tanha. Tanha is not the Hindi tanha which people say about loneliness, not that tanha. Tanha is a desire. So the desire is at the root. There is a Bengali story, I don't know if some of you know it. In Bengali language, vasana is also desire, and vasana is also the plantain leaves. When it is accumulated, they put fire, and then with that ash is used for different purposes. The small daughter comes and asks the father, "Father, when you are going to burn all this vasana?" The daughter meant the dry leaves. But father understood, my goodness, my daughter is telling me to put fire to all my desires. And his life changed. So, one who renounces his desires to live life, to achieve something in life is nothing wrong. To have ambitions is nothing wrong. But till what? Till when? That which keeps us running in our life. Eventually what we want should be clear in our mind. Pumans charati nispriha. And he moves around free from spriha, free from hankering. These are not imaginations. These are not the qualities of the person who is failure in his life. No desire, no hankering in life. I can't achieve this, I don't have capacity to do this. No. After having all the capacities, physical, mental, intellectual, etc., still I do not want, because what I want is much higher than this. If that is there, then only the question comes. Nirmamo, nirmama. In individual spiritual life, these are sometimes people feel these are all impractical ideas. Because the desirous, ambitious people, they may not be able to conceive these ideas without the feeling of me and mine. Who am I? That pride is not there. And these are all things are mine, that ego is not there. Then what remains in life? Spiritual goal is not easy. Just to have a concept, religious life is easy. Today you are not religious, tomorrow be religious. Start putting some marks on your head and change your dress and start visiting temples, you become religious. But become spiritual, you cannot become overnight spiritual person. So need more. Without this idea of mind, mama, identification with things. As we are identified with our body, you pinch a pin, I immediately understand that pin has been pinched. Then you extend your identification. How? All of you have experience. You buy a house and rent one room to someone. Just think this situation. And suddenly in the evening you are hearing the noise that your tenant is putting a nail on the wall with a hammer. So you immediately go, excuse me, you can't do this. He's not putting nail on your forehead, he's putting in the building. But you are identified with the building. No, nobody can do this to my house. That's called identification. One person purchased a house, a little joke but true. He purchased a car. So Swamiji, I bought a car, God bless you. Morning, evening, cleaning the car. A small scratch, small dent, he will be angry, who did, how, this, that. So one day, elderly couple, of course, that's why they could make these jokes. They came and told me, Swamiji, now this car has come. He loves the car more than me also nowadays. Children, wife, all are out, only car. His whole mind is in the car. That's how you expand your identification. Anything happens to car, he feels it happens to him. But that remains for a while. We had one Swamiji, very funny. As a person was so miserly, he purchased a pair of shoes. Looking at the shoes, wow, so beautiful, also expensive. For 7 days he used to wear shoes when he used to go to bed in the night. Because if I wear shoes and go out, my shoes will be spoiled. So best way to wear shoes is to wear shoes and sleep in the night, so that your shoes are not spoiled. Then few days he wore the shoes within the house. Oh, shoes cannot be, it cannot be spoiled. The whole psyche has changed. The shoes was meant to protect my feet. Now my feet goes dirty, doesn't matter. Shoes should not be spoiled. Wearing shoes, went out, there was a small pool of water. He has to put his 1 foot and then can cross the water. How to spoil my shoes? He removed the shoes and socks, kept in the hand, put 1 foot in the water, went other side, wiped the feet and put on the shoes again. So the onlooker like us told, wait, just think for a while. You purchase shoes to protect your feet. When the protection question came, you went to protect your shoes and you were ready to spoil your leg. This is what happens when we say a common word called materialistic attitude. So materials become important, not the persons. So we had a monk, Swami, originally from a developed country, white-skinned Swami. Swami, you do not know what is materialism. I said, yeah, we are not rich country to know. He said, no, not that you don't have. Materialistic attitude is spending time for those material which are supposed to serve you. You don't use it. Wardrobe of clothes, you maintain the clothes. The goal was, the clothes are supposed to maintain you, no? Shoes, footwears, 200 footwears are there. And keep on looking after footwear and polishing and cleaning and all that. You spent your life to look after the footwears? Footwear were supposed to look after your body. Same thing goes with everything of life. We have a very beautiful scripture called Tattva Bodha. In that there is one shloka which says, look at my condition, spiritual point of view. Look at my condition. I wanted to hire a servant, but eventually I became servant of the servant of my servant. My body, my senses. I am using my body. I want to go to temple or I want to go to theatre. I decide. That means I use this body as my servant, instrument. Then the body has senses, eyes, ears, etc. And the ears and eyes, senses have another servant called the sense objects. Now I am running behind these sense objects. Keeping that in mind, the Rishi is writing. The body was my servant. Now I became servant of the sense objects, who are servant of the senses. Senses are servant of the body. There is one way of looking at it in the world people don't generally think. But the intelligent people do think. For example, we started class at 6 o'clock. Now it is 6:30. So what you will say? Half an hour has passed. Half an hour has not passed. You became half an hour elderly, older than what you entered the hall. Time remains the same. Infinite time. You became older. Time did not pass. You passed. You passed half an hour. Time doesn't pass. There is all this I am telling whenever if you feel you can read these books. There is a book called Vairagya Shatakam, 100 slokas on renunciation by King Bhartrihari. In that he writes this sloka. Very intelligent. How 400-500 before this person would have written. Bhogana bhukta vayameva bhukta. It is not the food which I am enjoying. The food is enjoying me. Kalona yata vayameva yata. Time doesn't pass, we pass. If I would be enjoying food, I should remain as it is, no? Continuously eating food like last 62 years. All the food which I take are pushing me towards death. Correct? Then who is eating whom? We are eating food or food is eating us? If I would be eating food, I should be younger or I should at least remain what I was. But eating food is pushing me towards old age and death. Suddenly Bhartrihari realized, I am not eating the food. Apparently I am eating food, actually food is eating me. I got diabetes by what? Eating food. So a healthy body was converted into a patient's body by whom? By the food. So who is eating? I ate the food or food ate me? Food ate me. I don't know, I don't have English words many times. My English is not that good. What word they use, I don't know. There is a picture which is a simple, some design inside, small, some design. But there is nothing drawing as such. So they say, just stare at it. Once you stare at it, oh, now I can see a dog. Apparently there is no dog. There is a name for that. Optical illusion is this what happens with you. Stereogram. Thank you. Apparently it is not there. But when your vision is little, focus is changed. They tell you to change the focus. As soon as the focus is changed, the total picture becomes different. The world is actually such. What you see is not the world. Change your focus a little, altogether a different world stands in front of you. This is a card, correct? Do you see anything on this card? Nothing. Put this card under a microscope, which makes it 3,000 times, 4,000 times bigger than what it is. You will find the whole world is sitting on this card. Long before I was a student, I went to a science museum. What you call plain water which you are drinking, take one drop of that water, which everybody drinks. Plain good water, not drain water. Put that water under the microscope and see what it is. The whole aquarium is there inside. Different kinds of living beings which you have never thought about. And you say, clean water. The clean water is clean at this state of your mind. As soon as you change the focus, enlarge it, it is no more clean. What you see a plain surface could be a forest. So you go and search for the invisible world, which is not visible by this naked eyes. But with the help of instrument, when you see it, the whole world is totally different. We say living with how many people? We can count. Okay, we are 25 people. Are you sure you are 25? With this eyes and light and sensory system, I can see 25 people. Maybe if I change my focus, I do not know whether I can see somebody else standing somewhere. I do not know. They say, no, these are all stories. No, these are not stories. There are millions of microbes here. We don't see them. There are millions of microbes sitting in the stomach, good and bad, because of whom our body becomes either healthy or not healthy. Do the microbes know I'm healthy in a monk's body or I'm healthy in a man's body or a woman's body? They don't know. This concept of male, female, monk, householder is our concept, not the microbes' concept. Everybody's world is different. We live in this world, I see the world in one way, you see the world in another way. Same world but different. Krishna says, Nirmamo Nirahankara. There is nothing to be egoistic about it. Just I was telling in the afternoon to some devotees came. A simple question. When did you look at sky? When did you stare at sky? Not look. Continuously look or staring. When did you stare at the sky last? You want to experience what is infinity? When the sky is clean, lie down on the floor and look, not inside your HDB, somewhere where sky is visible. Infinite sky, millions of stars. Our earth is much smaller than those one star which is visible. In that you are like a small microbe moving around in this world. What ego you want to have? An invisible virus came and took away 500,000 people. The virus whom you cannot even see is so powerful. You just breathing, tomorrow you are knocked off. Hey, put mask, virus can be anywhere. I am full of that virus within me. I did only to you. And that's the end of your life. And we all have seen it. Where this invisible power came to kill all of us. And we say we are very powerful. No. You are powerful in what sense? They are powerful in another sense. To see the world from this direction makes you humble. Sometimes I would like to think and write up about this. Who is the king of the forest? Lion. You know one thing which most of you do not know. Lion is very powerful. Each lion, each without exception, each lion dies a miserable death. Each lion loses strength for hunting, cannot even move from where he is, cannot even turn, and the hyenas will come and eat that lion alive. So why you want to call him king of the forest? Yes, one time he is the most powerful. But nothing is there for you to be egoistic. Today you are something, tomorrow you are zero. Not in a natural process. You don't need to be defeated by people. Great people you will find. A time comes when they are also in the bed, cannot even move, cannot even speak a word. Understanding the life in a practical sense, that eventually we come to this world, everybody, whether you are a holy man or you are a sinner, whether you are a powerful dictator or you are a benevolent person, whomsoever you are, poor, rich, whomsoever you are, we all have to die one day. So when we have come and we have a life for 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years, Swami Vivekananda says, leave a mark behind in a good sense. There are only two movements in the world, beneficial and harmful. Enroll yourself in that blessings group where whatever you do will bring peace at least to some people. We say many times in certain circumstances to the people with family, hey, you don't need to go and give peace and happiness to people. Just give peace and happiness to your own people, your own family. Your family can't stay with you. What peace and happiness you are going to give to others? These are the statements given by great souls that wherever you are, whatever you are a young boy, you are a girl, you are a student, you are a householder, you are retired, you are this businessman, public servant, politician, sadhu, monastic, whatever we are. But we can lead a life which, if not helpful to others, at least it is not harmful to anyone in this world. If all of us become, all the people in the world say, okay, I will not harm people. If I can serve others, I can serve. I can help others, I will help. At least I will not harm. The world will change. Individual spiritual life is this. By the action, words and thought, consciously putting effort not to harm or hurt anyone. Don't even pray to God, oh God, you see him, he is like this. No. Pray to God, bless him. From your mouth no curse should come out. Neither by anger, nor by your nature or whatever. So, state of mind is important for any kind of progress in terms of what is spiritual life eventually. All that is good is named as God. God, individual God, person, is a different religion philosophy. Not everybody wants to worship the God which you want to worship. So it doesn't matter whether the person is God or not. God is that which is all goodness, all blessings is called God. And the rest which is harmful and hurtful is what you want to call negative. Some call it Satan, some call it demon, some call it negative, whatever. But if you are in part of God, you will become source of blessings for the people. Nothing whatsoever should come out of your mouth or your mind or through your hands that could be hurtful or harmful to the people. Nirmamo nirahankara sa shantim adhigacchati. That person gets peace of mind. And that peace is what? Peace is when you establish yourself within yourself. Peace is only that. Peace is not, there is no noise. That is one kind of peace. What you want peace of mind is when you can sleep well, then it's, oh, he is at peace. What is the meaning of sleeping? You are putting the body out, you are putting the mind also out, and you go back to yourself. You are in communion with yourself, and that is called peace. So, reducing the desires which keeps you running, desires which doesn't allow you to be at peace. First and foremost, to feel the difference that this is me and these are my desires, then only you can study the desires. If you are swayed in the current of desires, it is very difficult to discriminate between you and your desires. So when you objectify rather, that these are the desires which are harmful to me, then you can curb your desire. When you can turn your desire to something different, something better. So Sri Krishna says, Vihaya kaman yas sarvan pumans charati nispriha. A person wanders around without hankering. Just being there. Adi Shankaracharya writes, If you are really a spiritual person, you do not need to do anything to bless anyone. Adi Shankaracharya gives an example called Vasantavat Lokahitam Charanta. Vasantavat. When the season of spring comes, you see flowers everywhere. You be like that spring season. Wherever you are, people are happy. You don't need to try to make people happy. By nature, you diffuse or you ooze out happiness and peace for the people. Nirmamo nirahankara, without pride, without boosting yourself as with ego and all that. That person gets peace of mind. And from spiritual sense, Krishna will tell that Esha Brahmi Sthiti. That requires little discussion, we shall do next time. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.